Good morning. It is 8:30 on a Monday morning, and I wanted to show you guys a student view. This is what our students' to-do list looks like. So everything that you checked for the student to show to student shows up here, and the number of days that you set. So if you just set the default of show it one day before it's due, then this is what we get. Like, this is due today, this is due tomorrow. So what's due today shows up, but because it's set for show one day before it's due, Tuesdays will show up. Now this is the to-do list. And if they only ever look at the to-do list, then that's fine. However, when Lauren clicks her Algebra 2, because I'll use mine as an example because I know of how I've done it, it shows at the top the things that are due now, that she needs to work on now, right? And it has them in green, the things that she needs to work on now. And then it has the things that are coming up next week on top of that. But then it shows everything else at the bottom. So it's a little bit confusing if they don't understand how that is sorted out. So what I've decided to do, let me log out of her. I've decided to just show her or all my students, about 2 weeks at a time, just so it doesn't get so overwhelming for my students. All right, I've got a student question. I will check her in just a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my assignments, and you can see Algebra 1, I have 6 weeks of work that they have access to. So I've decided not to let them have access to that anymore. I want to oh goodness, I just want to, if you accidentally tap my touch mouse, it enlarges. I'm going to just take it off of the show to students. That does not alter my assignment anyway. They just can't see it on the list. So I'm just going to run through from the bottom to the top, and I'm just going to take off show to students so they don't have visibility and get overwhelmed. The last thing I want is for my students to go, this is too much, I can't handle it, and quit. So I want to just give them a little bit at a time to keep them focused and motivated. They can see a light at the end of the tunnel. You know how it is whenever you have this big massive job that you need to do and you can see all of it at once, it can just knock you out of the water. So I only want to let them see this week and the next week, and that's all I want them to have access to as well. And I'll make a decision going forward as to how much history they can see once they have some history. And all right, so this is the end. This is week 1, this is week 2. So that's where I'm going to stop, so they can see this. All right, so now I'm going to go to my first period class. I'll click done, so I go back to my dashboard. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go to my last lesson. I'm going to go all the way up to lesson 10, investigation 1, and just not show it to them so that they are not seeing all of these assignments just overwhelming them. And it's a little bit of a process, and it's one that I will finish later, but that's all you have to do is just uncheck show to students, and then they don't have this big long window of stuff that they can see that can be a little overwhelming for them. Our whole mission is to help them through this, and if we're setting up a system that overwhelms them, that doesn't work either. We're supposed to be helping them learn and guiding them through the material. All right, I've got one more lesson, and I'm going to stop there. So now when I click done, the assignment is still there. They just can't see it on their list. When it's grayed out, they don't get to see it on their list. So I'm going to do Lauren's class, and I'm going to stop at homework pod 9. and then I will log in as her and let you see what that looks like, and then you can go back, or I'll go back later and finish the rest of them. But I just want to, reduce that overwhelm and just give them a little bit at a time. Just feed it to them a little bit at a time so that they don't get, fearful. We don't want to instill fear in our girls. And that doesn't mean you can't go ahead and add more modules. You just don't show it to them. You go ahead and set it and put it out there, but they can't see it. That doesn't affect our ability to create lessons and plan work. All right, so this is week 1, week 2. All right, so now, all right, that's all that. I'm going to click done. Let me make sure. Yes, that's where I want it to stop. So I'm going to log out. I'm going to log back in as Lauren. And now, all right, I'm going to go to her to-do list. Still shows the same on her to-do list, but when she clicks Algebra 2, all she can see now is 2 weeks worth of work. That is so much better, I think. That is so less overwhelming and much more manageable. So she can say to herself, okay, I see the dates in this. This is not so bad. I can handle this. So this gives her a little bit of, it eases her mind. It's going to ease all of their minds. They're going to say, okay, this is manageable, and be able to move on. And that's all I wanted to show you this morning, was that it matters what the student sees. I know it's hard for us to see that. That's why I've been using Lauren's account to give you those student views. I think that's important for us to understand how they perceive it. So there you go. That's what they can see. So think about unchecking some of those show to student boxes. If you're somebody who plans way ahead and sets your modules up way in advance, then think about that, because it can be a factor in those students who get overwhelmed easily. We don't want them to have that fear and that anxiety that prohibits them, it keeps them from actually doing their work. And that's all I have for you today, and I will talk to you guys later.